Good morning everyone and welcome to our second edition of our scrapbooking. I've come on just a few minutes early to give everyone time to see their notifications and that they can pop on if they are home to do so. I just give everyone a couple of minutes, but while I'm giving everyone a couple of minutes, this is our look what come in today. This is the product of the month. So it's words, fabulous sayings, lovely dies, lovely stamps. Sorry, it's a stamp set. Lovely stamps. And I will be doing a class next month using all what's in here and putting out a PDF as well. So I think this will be exciting to see. The words are happy birthday. I love the font. Do you love the font? Happy birthday, you're on my mind. Thank you, hello, sending love, you can do anything. So much hooray. There's so many different words in here that you can use. And this is the product of the month. So if you place that qualifying order, you can get this for $9. I think that's correct. The brain's still not working quite right this morning, but better than yesterday, believe me. Yesterday was not working. Still got my stiff shoulder. I don't know. I'm going to have to go and get that massage for sure. So it's 10 o'clock. If you're new on here and you haven't seen me before, my name's Teresa Brown. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Warragul, Victoria, and have been for 19 years, going into my 20th. We are scrapbooking a double layout this morning, and I'm really excited because I'm using the country wood. I had a lot of that paper left over and I wanted to use it because it's fantastic for scrapbooking. And I had some black and white photos, and black and white photos can be tricky. You've got to work out what you're going to put with it, and especially if you're going to use one pack of designer series paper and you want to use everything that's in that designer series paper without bringing in too much more. You can bring in some cardstock. So I've brought in some black and white cardstock, and I'm thinking I might even bring in a little bit of garden green because of the word. But yeah, it's going to be fun scrapbooking this morning. And if you're watching the replay later, hello. I love seeing replays come on. Don't forget to always leave your name, where you're from. If it's your first time, say it's your first time. Tell me also in the comments, do you have the product of the month? Do you have the product of the month this month? Have you already got it? It is a beautiful one, and it is at that discounted price, so that's really great. Just give everyone a couple of minutes and then I'm going to get started. So I have also chosen to work with the Impressions A Bloom stamp set because it's got flowers and it's got leaves and it's got a die to go with it as well. So I love that. And I'm also using the Unforgettable words, which is one of those little packs that you can use. Mine's all over the place at the moment. It's all fallen out of the pack. But the words are lovely. Like, you know, you've got all different little words like our story, and great for scrapbooking, this one, and everyday life and things like that. So I'm going to probably be using that today. And also, when you're cutting out your dies, I'm using the designer series paper as well. So there's lots you can do to mix and match and change things around. Okay, so let's come down to the workbench and we'll get started. If you come on, don't forget to say hello, where you're from, whether it's your first time, not. This is a new section for me. This is our second week. Last week we started, and I wasn't sure what to start with last week, and I started with a little kit. But today I've decided to do a layout. So when I pick out a layout or pick out a stamp set and a die, I like to cut each of the die pieces out. And because it's black and white photo, I've gone with black and white paper. So matching sometimes a colour to a photo, or if you haven't got a photo, always match it up to the designer series paper because it's got a list on the back of what colours go with it. So they're the ones that I have used today. So you can sort of see they're actually gorgeous when you, I don't even know if you can see, but they're absolutely gorgeous. And you can put centres in, you can do all sorts of things. So put them aside. And like I said, the leaves are gorgeous. I've done them in the designer series paper. Absolutely gorgeous as well. So just a nice thin strip to go through. And you got either side too. You can use either side of the paper, which is really lovely. So you're going to need a 12 by 12 white cardstock for your base. And I'm going to go through the cutting out that I have done. Okay, so then we have also got, this one's gorgeous. It's blue on one side, so it depends what your photos are. If you're doing a sea photo like fishing or something like that, you might want to go with this on that side. I'm going with this with family. So this piece is 15 by 30.5, so it's a full piece. Okay, so we'll put that one aside just for a minute. And then I've got this one, and this one's 26 by 13. Okay, so this is wood grain on one side, so you can use the wood grain, you can use the grey side, whichever you want to use. So let's start putting things down as we go, because sometimes that's easier. So this is, like I said, 26 by 13, and this is the first piece that I'm going to use. I'm going to place this just on here. Now I'm keeping it simple but elegant, nice, but simple. So we're going to put this one down. You can use that side too, whichever side suits you. You can use either side. Okay, so this goes down here. And then my next piece that I'm going to be using is, I've got this little scrap. So I thought I'd throw this in because 23 by 8. And I have another little strip here. And when you've been cutting up cards, you sometimes get lots of little strips. And sometimes this is a really good time to be able to pull them out for scrapbooking. This one's 27 by 3.5 centimeters. So I'm sort of thinking that I might go keep this one a little bit longer and bring it up a little bit, so it's just a little bit off the top of the page here and a little bit off the bottom of the page there. So we'll put that on. You can use the dark brown side if you want to. Like I said, it's your choice. Okay, so this is our second piece that's going on. It's just going over the edge a little bit on the top and the bottom. So that's going in there. And then I'm going to put this piece in here. Okay, so we've decided on that one. So that one's going in there. So that's going on here. Okay, and then I had a strip of this. I had quite a few of these strips. And I thought, this has got this colour sort of into it, and it's got the blue, it's got the greys. So I thought, I'm going to bring this piece in. I'm just going to bring it in here, but I've also got this beautiful punch. And I thought, well, I'm going to actually slide this in. I'm going to turn it over so you can sort of see. And I'm just going to sort of bring it down a little bit and take out that little piece there. Just so that it's got a little flag down the bottom here. So that's going to go up there, and that's going to go down like that. So we're going to put this piece on. I love this punch because it just cuts that little bit out for you, and it does all different sizes, so I like that. So we're going to pop this on here. Now this is what we call layer over layer over layer. We're layering it up. Okay, now I'm going to put our one going across this way. And you can choose whether you want the light or the dark. I think I might go with the lighter one. Yeah, I'll go with the lighter one at the top. No, I'll go with the green on the top. Doesn't really matter. You can go with whatever colour you want. Now, the one thing I love about our liquid glue, it is acid-free and lint-free, so important for scrapbooking. Okay, why is it important? So it doesn't make the photos go a different colour. You know, you want that nice. So I've got these beautiful black and white photos, so I'm going to sort of put Emily and the two boys there, and then Emily, Jack and the two boys over here. I love this, and I sort of was looking at adding a little bit of green here, and I thought, well, I might just do a little bit of a banner through here. So I'm going to turn this over again. Okay, so just line him up. And the good thing about this is that you can just put that tiny little bit down here. You don't have to have a whole lot. So you can just put a tiny little bit down there. So that's what I'm going to do. Just to add that little bit of colour of green in, because like I said, the word has got a bit of green, garden green in it. And then you can just trim a little bit off the top, just a tiny little bit off the top. So I'm just going to trim 1.5 centimetres, or maybe 2 centimetres would be nice. And we're just going to add that to the top bit. So very clever. You don't have to use a whole strip behind there. You just need to add a little bit of each. One to the top and one to the bottom. Try to match the distance, eyeball it, and add that there. Now the photos, I was thinking, they don't really need matting. I think they're quite lovely the way they are, so I'm going to go with them as they are. I'm not going to mat them, so I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on each side. You don't need to put a lot of glue on your photos, okay? And I'm just going to center this. These are such beautiful family photos, honestly. Since then, they've had little Piper. She is just a doll. And I was going to try to add her in, but because Frankie's so little in this photo, it wouldn't be right having the two little ones, so they look like twins, and they're not twins. So this one like this. And the good thing about it is we can do our pages very similar, which is really good. Now, like I said, I've punched out a lot of flowers and leaves because to just decorate it up a little bit. And here I've got our story. So I'm going to put our story in. This is why I wanted to bring in a little bit of this green, was because it's got this green on here. So I'm going to put this down first because it's easier to work out your flowers when you've got your word already down. Okay, so just a little bit on all of it, not too much. And we're going to go with our story. I'm going to put the S sort of right on that paperwork there. Okay, and then we're going to come in with some leaves. We're going to do some leaves up the top here. Again, just a tiny little bit of glue. You don't need a lot. And I'm going to sort of put this one coming out up here. Then we're going to come in with our big flower. We might come in with our big black flower first. You can use dimensions behind these, which is really good because you can use dimensions in your scrapbooking. So that's a good thing. So I'm going to bring this one here, and I have a white centre. So I'm going to do that. And this is what I like about cutting up every flower in the die, for the simple reason is you might not use them all, but you've got them for another page. But you don't have to keep getting up and down and looking what you're going to do. So we're going to bring this one in here. Bring a dimension behind it. Okay. And bring that in over the top. And we've got a little black one now. Here. Down here. And then we got some black and white ones of these, so you can go around and you can work out where you want these. So I might just put a little bit in there. So just a little bit of glue along the bottom is all you need. And we can add a little bit of that in there. And we can even add, we've got different sizes of black. A little bit of glue there. Hello, Leonie. I just seen you pop on. A little bit in there. And your scrapbooking, you can bring your leaves in wherever you want on each side. So it depends on how you want it. So you can bring it in this way if you want to. You can even come in on this side. Just depends where you want these leaves happening. I'm sort of thinking I'll come in more under there. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on there. Scrapbooking, these new classes are going to take a little while for people to realise that I'm coming on with scrapbooking, because scrapbooking is reasonably new. I mean, it is and it isn't, because we used to have scrapbooking in Stampin Up, but then we had digital scrapbooking and lots of different scrapbooking. Okay, so you can add these wherever you want, if you want to add them. If you don't want to add them and you feel like you've got enough on there, then just leave it. You don't have to add any more on if you feel like you've got enough. Okay, so like I said, you'll have others for other pages and things like that. If you want to bring in just a little bit more, you can actually bring in a little bit of flowers in there. So I'm just going to add a little bit of glue. But these are just gorgeous photos of Em and Jack. And I'm doing Em and Albin at the moment, so I thought, well, this would be really lovely to add to the album as well. So I'm just going to bring that in there. Then we've got flowers that we can put down here as well, if you want to add some flowers down here. And we have some leaves as well, so if you want to sort of do that as well. Okay, so you can sort of bring in your leaves and just sort of work out where you want them, where you want them to go. Okay, so we're just going to go down that way. little bit of glue, just a little bit. You don't want to add too much glue when you're scrapbooking if you can help it. Okay, and then we're going to grab a dimension behind this black one. And that's going to go in here, and then we have our white one here. I'm going to add a dimension to that. And we're just going to lift that up a little bit. You can sort of see that it just sits over the top. We have our black circle, and that's really why I die cut everything from the die. Even if I have one or two things left over, that's fine. It just makes it so simple. You can sit there and you don't have to get up and down and think about it. You can just grab the little pieces as you want them and put them onto your scrapbook page. So over here, put this. Then you can add a little bit more if you want to. You can add a little bit more on there. Like I said, it's entirely up to you how much you add and how much you don't add. And sometimes it just depends on your photos too. Going, that's it. So there's lots that you can do. We can add a little bit of black over here if we want to. It's entirely up to you how much you add onto all this. So I'm happy with this. We've even got little flowers, so you can add some more. We've got little flowers, so you can even add a little flower on here if you want to make it 3. That's entirely up to you too. You can even bring it in here, up there. It's entirely up to you. You can bring it down in under here or in under there. Just move them around if you want to add. So very sweet layout, very quick and easy layout. So that's the first page. Now I'm going to come in with our second one. We've got some beautiful photos again. These all go beautiful together. And we're going to do the same sort of layout with our sizes. So take these photos out of the way. So this time we're going to be putting them over this side. So when our story, when it goes together, it will do a nice double spread like that. Or we can put it over, have them both going on the same side. Or you can have them over there. So they're both on the same side. Or you can have it in the middle. So it's sort of all in the middle with this bit and then out clear on the outside. So that's what we're going to do with this one. So we're going to line this up a little bit because it's good to have this as a little bit of a guide. So I gave you the measurements of all the papers. It's exactly the same at the beginning. So if you didn't get the measurements, you might want to go back to the beginning of the video when it's finished. And yeah, write down the measurements. Okay. Country Wood Designer Series paper is absolutely beautiful. It's got so many beautiful colours through here. So we're going to come in with this one next. So this one's going to come in over here. And it's just going to come off the page a little bit on each side. So this is this piece here. So we're doing exactly the same but just opposite. When you've already done one side, it's not hard to do the other side. Okay, because you've got virtually a guide to follow, and then this one's going in here. So, like I said, you've got 2 sides to every piece of paper, so you can use whichever side you want on the paper. And these were all scraps virtually left over from card making. So I really wanted to use them because you don't want to throw them away. And 99% of the time when you're doing card making, you normally get two very similar. I think this one's just a fraction bit smaller than that one, but you get very similar sizes because of the card making. Now we're using this punch. I'm going to turn it upside down so you can sort of see. So I'm just going to push it through to get a little V down the bottom. Yep. So we've got our little flag down the bottom here, and it's just sort of going down the centre of our paper here. Okay, so a little bit of glue again. This one's going up, about there. Okay. Now we're going to put our centerpiece across because this is what makes it easier to do. So as you can see, our story, and then this is going to be our second page. So we've got this and this here, or you can do it the other way if you want to. You can have the other two. But you do want to sort of line your paper up to line this up. It doesn't matter if the colours aren't the same, as long as you sort of get the length the same, like join up here, so it looks good in the book. Okay, so we're going to add some glue. And I'm just going to add this to line up similar to the other page there. Okay, just going to bring that over. And the less glue you have, the more moving around you've got to. Okay, so you can move it around a lot. So we've got our story, everyday life. And I love that. So we're going to stick this on first. Like I said, you can use dimensions if you want to raise things up. I like to raise the flowers up a little bit. Everyday life. So we want this sort of coming into here. We want our photos. So we've got Emily and the boys. We've got Jack, Em and the boys. So we've got Jack and Tex, and then we've got the family. So we can go that way, or we can have the family and then Jack and Tex over that side. So just depends which way you want it. They're all beautiful photos. So let's just go with having the families in the centre. So and we're just going to move it across a little bit so it's similar to the other side. You'll be surprised, just that little bit of glue, how it sticks down. Sticks right down. So they've got a new addition to their little family now. Their little family now has got a little girl, little Piper. She is absolutely gorgeous. I've just got to show you a photo of Piper because this is Piper now. How gorgeous is she? But I think Frankie's around the same age as what Piper is there. So, yeah, absolutely gorgeous. Now we're going to do the same with our green again. So we're going to come in and do a little bit of a banner just to bring in that bit of green. Don't push on your punch when you're trying to line it up. So just come in and push down. Now, like I said, this is a cheat's way, but just like that. You don't have to add anything else on that. And we could put something else on. You've got another sort of little banner there if you want to use it. And we just want a small piece up the top there. So I think about 2 centimetres. So we're going to grab that. And we're going to add this here. So we're going to stick these ones down. It just gives it a little bit more interaction on the page. Who's loving the layout? You can use this layout with all the papers in any designer series paper pack that you have at home. You can just cut some sizes up that you want to do layer over layering. And that's virtually what it is. It's a layer over layer layout. And I just love them because they're quick, easy, and they look amazing. You can add flowers, you can add little, if it's a beach theme, you could add shells, you could add sailing boats. There's so much you can add to it. Okay, so we've got that. Now we want to do our flower section up here. So we've got a couple of leaves again. And you can add these in however you want to add them. So you can add these in. So we're going to get our leaves down first. So we're going to put them in first, just a little bit of glue. Tell me if you're a scrapbooker. Is it something that you love doing? This is a very new class for me, doing scrapbooking at 11 on a Thursday. I was thinking of a Monday, but I'm doing it on a Thursday. So, yeah, scrapbooking on Thursdays. I think it's just easier. And Monday's a pretty busy day because I'm doing lots of things on Monday, and then I've got Crafty Monday at 1, and a lot of my doctor's appointments seems to be on a Monday for some reason, so, or follow-up appointments, so I've sort of decided to come on a Thursday. So I'm going to put the leaves there. Then we're going to grab our flowers, and we can do the black the same at the top if we want to, or we can do the white this time at the top and the black down the bottom. You can change them around so that they sort of working well. Like I said, there's no right or wrong in anything that you're doing when you do scrapbooking. I'm just looking for my dimensions. Okay, so just one, and we're going to do the white this time. So we're going to pop this in here, and we're going to add a black behind there. And you can sort of see, okay, we've been probably half an hour now. So it's not bad doing a layout, a beautiful spread in half an hour, layer over layer. I've just got to find all my flowers, they're all moving around. Okay, so we need to put our leaves down the bottom as well, so let's do that. So we're going to come in with our leaves. And I'm going to go up and down that way on this one. You can go whichever way you want to go. That one's around the wrong way. Okay, so a little bit of glue again. I don't glue too much on these because they've got hollows, like they've got little hollows on here. So, oh, I want to do this on here. I nearly stuck it in the wrong spot. I want to do it over here. and stick that on there. And this area here is for Emily to do her writing. So she can do a little bit of journaling on there. Coming with that on there. Okay, big flower, our dimension. I wanted to say, if you get the liquid glue stuck on you, your silicone craft sheet is such a good thing to use to get that glue off. Grab that silicone craft sheet. This is a really good gold nugget, and it just takes that glue off. Okay, so we're going to come down with our black one over here, and then we've got sort of like the white coming out of this, so we can pop that one in. That's good. And then we've sort of got our next flowers, which are these ones. So we're going to need a dimension behind these. And this is going to go down here. You can have them over the top or underneath, whichever way you want to have them. And this one's going to go sort of over here, I think. Okay, so we've got a white, a big white one. So we're just going to add that to the center of the black down here. I love that they come with the little centers of the flowers on the dies. What have I got over here? Okay, we've got the big black one, which is going to go into the white. And bringing in the white and the black flowers is matching it into the black and white photos, which is really, really good. So it sort of all looks amazing. Okay, and then this one's going into here. And I've just got to find the others. I've got flowers here and that, but I don't know where the other circle went. Okay. I can't see the other circle. I might have to cut a circle later. Probably fallen down on the floor. Who knows? So I'll need to just check through here, but I don't think I've got a little circle. So I need to do another black circle for in here. And then you can sort of add anything more that you want to add, you can add. So if you want to add some more of these, you can. To the top, you can add a little bit more in here if you want to. Just what you want. There's no, like I said, no right or wrong. It's just what you want to add to your page. Okay. Really lovely to do. So that's our beautiful double layout for today. I'm going to turn it around so you can sort of see it. So we've got this one, our story, which is just absolutely beautiful. I'm going to go up. Hi, Kerry. Good to see you on. And we're going to hold it up like that. How gorgeous is that? And then we've got the other second layout. Beautiful photos, beautiful layout, layer over layer. You cannot go wrong with a layer over layer scrapbooking page. I really hope you enjoyed our double layout today, and I'll catch you for our next one next Thursday. God bless you all, and thank you for joining me. Bye for now. Thanks for the love hearts.